How's it, guy?
Mi niko salama. I am doing very, very well, and I am very, very happy.
Yeah, why?
Because Ferrari is back. Ferrari is back, bro. Back.
Yo, if there's someone who doesn't watch F1, it's me.
Where is that?
I don't get
Football, none. Soccer, or is it
F1
football?
nuts.
F1. You don't like F1?
I
The
don't
racing, the
another
thrill?
left turn! And another left turn! I'm just like... and another left turn! Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think because the F1 season has started,
Yeah.
I'm excited about this season because as a Ferrari fan, I've suffered for a very long time. Ferrari has
This is
been
what we
put
were
to
talking about
shame.
identity last time. You remember?
Ferrari has been put to shame
Knights come
for
back
such a
with
long time.
bang.
Now they have arguably the fastest car. So that is one highlight. But generally,
Yeah.
I am doing good. B22 standard, 8 to 5. Still paying bills.
I see they'll never stop.
Still trying to make a living.
Adulting. We should do an episode on adulting. The way we were like,
And we all wanted to grow up at some point.
I remember,
Like, we
I
really
remember
wanted
being
to grow
told,
up.
wacheni kuharakisha kugrow. I'm like, no, me, I want my independence. Look
Yeah.
at me now.
You're
KRA
getting
inanifuata
paper.
mbio. Wasa wanataka kulipwa sijui mshahara how much. Ndio wase nyuma ya kamera wanataka lunch. My guy. Money in, money out. Unajua ni kama guy kwa garbage in, garbage out. Sasa hivi pesa inaingia hivi, kama imetoka kulipa hii side nyingine.
True, but yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Life has been good.
Yeah.
Pia mimi sina neno.
Uko na injili ya neno kama
Niko na injili. Sina
Evangelist.
neno ingine.
Neno Evangelism Center.
Guza screen yako. But I'm good. I'm also happy. My son is doing well. My wife is doing well. I think those are
How
the
is that
things.
going, by the way? You know you're a father.
I'm a father. Father for
Fadela.
I have seen it.
Well, like, hey, I don't know. I think we'll have to do an episode on
On fatherhood.
how this season of your life is
It's crazy.
panning out and what is happening and the adjustments.
It's a story for another day.
Yeah, but because I honestly think a lot. I've seen it with a lot of my friends. When they became parents, like a lot changes. Some just like
It's like your whole world just goes.
And I'm also kind of looking forward to it, by the way. Like, I mean, for a long time, I just wanted to get married. I never wanted to get a child without that unit.
Right.
Yeah, baby mama things and the baggage.
For a long time.
I didn't want.
I don't know if
I was always scared of
There was
that.
this season, not season. There was this show where Tay Diggs was a single father.
Yes.
I used to want to be that
be a
kind
single
of,
dad.
Yes, I used to want that kind of life. Just to not have,
Like you're affiliated to a woman.
Yes,
It's
no,
just
baby,
child.
done.
You're like those women who keep saying, I just wanted him for his seed.
Finished.
I just want a baby.
Then you figure ahead and start realizing.
So it's interesting to know there are some men who actually reason like that as well. They're
There's
like,
some people who
I just
like
wanted a baby.
Exactly, I just want a baby. Finished.
Aye.
But anyway, guys, thank you very much for subscribing. We have 300 subscribers this far.
302 to be specific.
302. You need only check size.
302.
Okay, 302 subscribers. Episode 1. Imefikisha 1,000 plus.
1,000 views.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Asanteni kwa kuja and continue subscribing.
Rich card.
Imepanda.
In my portfolio, I can say, I have 1,000 subscribers.
Hi. So
1,000 views.
Yeah, I'm now an influencer.
I've managed to convince 1,000 people to speak and
To
listen.
watch your show.
Oh
my goodness. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. And we pray that you continue to just tuendelee.
Yes, please. Keep watching,
just keep telling
keep
people,
sharing, keep subscribing.
You
But I think the best thing I have noticed since we started the show is the engagements. Guys actually giving us their opinions, giving us their comments, giving us their experiences. And it's good to see that it's relatable. A lot of people actually have a lot that they can share, and there's a lot that is going on in the comment section. So I think for me that is a highlight. The views are great, but the fact that people can connect with what you're saying and they also share, that is amazing.
I don't know if we should have like a live where we just call guys
Yeah.
and tell people to come to the authentic barber shop and just
we do a live recording.
Just do a live recording where people
agree
are just
with you.
throwing in. We talk to people and whatever.
I agree with you 100%.
I mean, if you guys are up for it, man, we can do that. Kujeni hapa tukule pizza, tupige story ya hizi mashow zenye zimepita.
Jordan anunua hiyo pizza by.
Haina pressure. Si nimeshasema. I mean, right now people are just waiting for pizzas and
Rolex.
Mimi niko hapa tu. Chapo mayai. Na tunamaliza hiyo story.
Naambia unajua venye nilikuwa Malaysia, hii ndo pizza ya Malaysia.
Itabidi umejinais nayo. Alafu umekata sausage umerusha kama pepperoni.
Guys, it's all about the culture. It's all about the culture.
We gotta enjoy,
appreciating
man.
Diversity. Those are the things
diversity nets.
Those are the things you should tell people.
Very fast.
I can cheese in the microwave. Yeah.
You. Wait, by
the way, guys. Okay, that is very funny. But you've mentioned, Kanyagi has mentioned Smoky Mwitu, and I've realized, you guys know, my boilo now is 25 bob.
Imagine.
It's bad.
The economy is hitting us hard.
Guys are not realizing how messed up it is. 25 bob.
Do you know how?
Watch out, mambo na 10 bob. 25.
And that's
my
boiled eggs.
Boilo.
That's boiled eggs.
It was 10 bob.
Yeah.
Now it's 25.
25 bob now. My boiling to
Kanyagia, sit down.
Trolley.
Kanyagia, sit down.
Trolley.
Sit down.
Ile trolley ya
Just sit down.
Smoky.
Inatumianga mafuta nini? Simona wawekanga chupa na maji hapo.
Have you ever seen the way they oil those smokies?
No.
Hey. You wouldn't want to eat the smokies, baby. But that's what they say about restaurants basically.
Everywhere.
Whichever hotel you go to.
You don't
unless you're the one who's
kitchen.
prepared.
You don't want to
unless
go
you're the one who's
kitchen.
prepared that meal. If you go to the kitchen,
you'll just be like, zing. I'm not about that story.
Anyway. Throw
My
back.
guy.
Guys who remember that. Anyway. Mavado.
Hey.
Boss.
Kuna msana kuanga na hizo ni vibes. Vibes na cartel. Vibes and inshallah.
Anyway.
Anyway. As you're saying.
Say it like Mavado.
I think it's or rather it's about time that we spoke about friendship. There's that, and then there's that's why good neighbors become good friends.
If you watch this with her and she does not relate to any of the songs, she's too young for you, bro.
Then there's the other.
If you watch it with him and he can't relate to this song, take that son back to their mother.
Take your leave.
You must
You
take your
are a
leave.
cradle snatcher.
Yeah. Cougar alert. Cougar alert.
Getting out
That's
of
a
friend
cougar
zone,
alert.
baby. As in, there's a lot. Friendship. It's a dynamic that is scary.
Yeah.
And especially in this time, or what we would call adulting.
Yes.
It's even worse because
the dynamics by there are really crazy. So there's a meme I saw about friendship, adult friendships. They're saying adult friendships are really tough in the sense that you have to schedule. Like, are you free on March
No, I'm not.
2nd, 2023
Doesn't work for me.
at 3:40 p.m.? You have to
1,400 hours.
you have to plan to the details
it's
and be
scary.
very deliberate about maintaining friendships.
Now, yes. Now, I was just thinking about it before we came, and I was thinking about how we used to have friends when we were young.
Yeah.
It just used to be, hi, my name is John, Richard, friends,
You make
finished.
friends, yeah.
And then it was, I come to your digs, watch movies, you come to my digs, whether it's playing
birthdays.
PS or whatever, birthdays.
Birthdays
There
were
was
the
nothing
worst
like
days.
doing,
Now we sip champagne.
scheduling.
Birthday.
There's nothing like trying to understand Nani's going through this or you're going through
dynamics,
this. Or
yeah.
the dynamics of
It was
adulting.
pretty straightforward.
Just,
Friendships were pretty straightforward.
the way we used to tell that we're at Akina Richie's, all the bikes were outside their gates.
And shoes.
All the shoes are outside their gate. Wako pale. Then when your parents come up, they're like, the bikes are there, wako sawa. Nowadays, you can't even tell.
You can't even tell who is who.
Nothing.
Let me tell you can't even tell who lives where anymore.
Do
You
you
don't
even-
even know
do you know
where
your
your
neighbors?
friends live. I do for purposes of security.
That's it.
And because sometimes our music is kidogo loud. So The guy who moved in opposite us also plays his music really loud.
Right.
The other day, the person who lives the floor below us also plays their music really loud. So I figured we are not disturbing anyone.
So you're fine.
So we're just like,
If you're playing
not
music,
disturbing anyone. We're at peaceful coexistence. But in the sense of knowing neighbors, like when we were growing up, how you would know, this is Mama Nani who lives in this house and Baba Nani is here, and you'd know their family, you'd even know their relatives, It was well knit. Nowadays, nowadays the dynamic has changed. I don't know my neighbors' names.
That's interesting.
Like I don't know their names.
But
I know their faces, I know their cars, I know where they house numbers, but I don't know their names.
Again, there's also the thing about privacy that has also become too much.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that I'm a private person. I don't like people in my business. I just want to be alone. But then, what happens to things about security now when you hear someone, sijui nani alikonga kwa gang fulani or whatever? Like it's one of those things that makes sense and doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because we've become an island again. Like I just want to live in my compound, enjoy my time with my family or comfort or whatever, play music as loud as I can and forget it. Then I can go have my friends elsewhere. Go to a bar,
community where you live.
But wherever I am, let me just be in peace. I can go make noise outside, but then when I come home, I just need that peace and tranquility.
Thinking about it, do you know there's a period in your life when you and your friends went out to play, and that's the last time you saw each other?
But we never knew that
you didn't know that would be the last time.
Messed up.
That you were going to be together.
It's the same way as moving.
Yeah.
It was just one of those. Yeah, it was just one of those. And I remember because we used to have. We still have that group, but it's a group we used to call ourselves Crackers Harbour.
Yeah.
And
the famous Crackers Harbour. You guys were the benchmark of friendship.
Friendship, right?
Sit down.
And now
the dynamic has changed.
We're in a WhatsApp group. So we decided let's create a WhatsApp group where we can know about each other's lives. And someone just asked a question, why are we in this group? Because it felt like nowadays it's either for posting memes or, just finding out that so-and-so has gotten married or so-and-so is sick.
Getting a child.
But there's nothing, getting a child, but there's nothing really like, are we meeting, are we whatever. I mean, we started that recently. Now guys are making it a purpose to meet, just find someone to host and then go. But before we would just wake up in the morning and be like, guys, we're going to Naivasha. And everyone just goes, and we're like, we're going to Naivasha, let's go. Now, when they asked that question, I even sat down and I just, took a step back and I was like, okay, really, are we still friends? Or are we just existing? And now we're existing in our WhatsApp group just to, I'm there. But, some of the people even don't talk. Yeah. You can find like it's just three people
backbenchers in the WhatsApp group.
But then, but you also understand, because again, dynamics of life. What does it take to keep a friendship, and what does it take to make that friendship last? Like the dynamics before. Let's wake up. We can go to Akina Nani's place and we can enjoy.
Yeah.
But now, why can't we still do that? I mean, friendship doesn't change apart from the dynamics of friendship. Because if I say I'm your friend, then our interaction shouldn't change just because of the dynamics. We've come from way far to try and say, I'm too busy.
So you just have to learn how to, like, exactly. As the time goes by and as these different things happen in your lives, like you get, say you move because of work, or you get married, or you get kids, or if the friendship is sustainable, then it means the friendship also adjusts to this new encounters and new happenings in each other's lives. So the friendship does not necessarily have to suffer because, like, now I've started working, so I'm busy.
I can't.
Or I've just gotten a child, so the friendship is struggling.
Doesn't make sense.
I mean, that now gets us to why we're doing this then. Why, like, what is friendship? What does friendship mean? If we say we are friends, what does that mean?
I don't know whether we should go with the definition of friendship from the dictionary or friendship from what I understand, I want.
Let's go with how we understand it.
Okay. Because what I understand a friend to be is someone who you go through life with.
Yeah.
One, someone who can rebuke and correct and call you out on your BS. Someone who you can do the same with, you know, call them out on their BS. Someone who's there for you during the good and the bad times as well. Someone who can bail you out of situations.
Yeah.
Someone who I know that if I put, like, you know, the way you put favorites on your phone, that's one of the people who should be there.
Yeah.
If I call you my friend, you should be on that speed dial list. Yeah, I mean, basically, that's what I think a friend is. I don't know what you think a friend is.
Yeah, a few years back, I don't know what brought about this conversation, but we had more or less a similar conversation with a friend of mine, and we came to the conclusion that friendship is basically sharing each other's lives.
Yeah.
So I'm letting you in to my life, and you are letting me into yours. We have defined our relationship as friends, and we are deliberate about maintaining it.
Yeah.
So basically for me, from that time, I started looking at it as we are sharing each other's lives, and we are going to be there for each other, and we are going to be deliberate, because friendship is tricky. The dynamics around the type of people we have to understand each other. We have to understand each other's personalities. Yeah. There's so much work that goes into friendships. And I'll tell you an interesting story. One of my closest friends, he was my best man, the wedding, Mavo. Do you know that's the first guy? I cannot remember such a friendship other than what we have with Mavo. We met at a restaurant in town and decided to be friends.
What?
Yeah.
That's how you guys met?
Yes. No, we met at church.
Oh, okay.
Like, see, already we used to go to
right.
church together.
Right.
But there's a day he told me, I want us to have lunch together in town. I was like, yeah, fine, that's fine. I'll come. So, that time he was a leader. So I was like, hey, if this leader wants to have lunch, I'm fine. I'm just an ex-card. I'm just cleared high school. Yeah. So we went to town.
Mavo is older than you?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I didn't
Yo, I also didn't know. Mavo is older than you.
I thought Mavo was basically.
What?
Really?
Yes, really.
Really?
You know, even when you're saying best man, I just know, this is my boy.
You guys thought Mavo is younger?
Yeah, no, same age.
Same age. Mavo is a year older. So that's older.
I was waiting to hear you 5. It's just a year. So you're in the same age group.
Well, yeah, of course, we're still in the same age group. We're still in the same age group. So he's just
back
a
to
year
the story.
older. Yeah, he's just a year older.
Okay.
So it's not.
Back to regular programming.
We met at a restaurant in town, and we decided to be friends.
Interesting.
Like, we had a conversation around.
That's interesting.
This is how we're going to be friends. This is how life is going to go from here henceforth.
Wow.
And that's the only type of person. Like, that's the only guy I've ever had such a conversation with. And we decided to be friends.
That's dope.
That was in February 2010.
That's dope. I mean,
12 years
on.
Imagine.
And you're still friends.
And we're still very good friends. So,
good stuff.
Like, so we joke about it now. We're like, now we don't have a choice. We have to stick together. Like, it's like
a lot of people can agree or concur or disagree. But a lot of friendships were just brought by the fact that we were either in the same school, same class, same area, same church, same Sunday school, those kind of things. But again, same as you, but now you know Chama.
Yes.
Right? Chama and I were in Sunday school together. All the way back them days when Sitam was NPC, Valley Road.
Central. It was NPC Central.
NPC Central.
My guy. It's a throwback.
It was a Bethel, exactly. So we used to be in Sunday school and we just continued like that.
Yeah.
Funny enough, our parents didn't know each other that well, so that you'd say that we are family friends. But we just started in Sunday school. Continued in church because we had different schools, because all the way from primary all the way to university, we were never in the same vicinity. But the fact that we started from Sunday school, continued being friends, and even now, he's one of the people I can say he's a very close friend because I can call him up for whatever. I can call him up and just tell him, yo, things are thick. This is how it's going, or, and you'd have advice because Chama Chama has advice for everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think you should do this.
How is it that you guys have been friends for that long and he never influenced you into being a football fan?
Oh yes, they did. I'm not saying
Like
they
you,
did.
you
They
didn't
did,
become
but
one.
I was
How?
like, because I was strong. I was like, Z, why am I watching
Toxic friends.
toxicity? Ndio hii hapa. No, they actually took
How
me
did
to
you just
Harambee
refuse?
Stars.
You're just like,
no.
no.
They actually took me to Harambee Stars game.
Yeah.
And they're like, Johnny, you can't be a friend. And every time we're going to watch
How
football,
was the
you
experience?
just move like this, and that's what you're going to watch. No, that's not how it's going to work. Can we go to this game? So I was like, hey, Sawa, watch a trainer to watch.
Yeah.
I sat through the game. Guys were, but I didn't feel nothing. Like games were just being played. They played. We finished. We left. And he's the first one. He came and asked me, ilikuwaje? I just felt like I was going to disappoint him.
There
like,
was
those
nothing
children,
for you. Like
those children who are like fathers who expect you to go like this and then you just
yeah.
disappoint them. I just saw his eyes. I was just like, I didn't feel
unbreak his heart.
Say
you love football again. How?
I didn't.
Sway?
How? I didn't. I just, until today, I still don't feel football. I'm not a fan.
That's so, but that means you guys have, if you've been friends since Sunday school, because I also have similar situations, like with Alan and Lucas, we've been friends since Sunday school.
Yeah.
Lucas and I were family friends. Our parents were the friends,
Right.
and then we met, and then through Lucas I met Alan, and the three of us have just managed to become that consistent group of friends since Sunday school.
Yeah.
And years later, we look back and we have so many experiences. Let me tell you, there's a time Lucas and I used to spend so much time together. That period after we had just cleared high school, we used to spend so much time together. Lucas had beef with a friend of mine, and I didn't know. She, whose name shall not be mentioned, was having a party at their house. And so she hits me up. She's like, yo, Richie, come through. My party is going to be casual at this time at our house. Please come. Oh, and please don't come with Lucas because I know you walk around with him everywhere. I'm like, what do you mean?
What's wrong?
So I had to hit him up. I'm like, hey, Lucas, what did you do to her whose name shall not be mentioned?
Right.
It's like, oh, we just had a disagreement on this, and that. So I told him, yeah, straight up, by the way. So
Attack you come.
yeah, she's invited me for her party, but you're not invited. So please don't come because she already warned me specifically not to come with you. But he understands it because he's like, this beef is between me and her.
Yeah,
and so I wouldn't want to jeopardize. But so we've become, we've that's another set of friends I have had for a very long time. But I think the closest, they are some of the closest friends. They are the closest. If there's an upper quartile of how close I have a friendship with people, they're in that upper quartile.
There are two things. There are two things there that I think are very important in terms of bringing to light. Is the fact that someone had beef with your friend. Yeah. Right? But he chose not to spoil your friendship.
Bro, right? There's guys who, like, if he was a bad guy, don't go for that party.
And vice versa, the chick would have said, since you're friends with Lucas,
don't come for my party.
Don't come for my party. And even now, at the age that we are, like guys
it
are
still
just
happens.
like, which still happens that your friends with me. Z.
As President Uhuru Kenyatta said, pettiness. Pettiness.
But now that's the thing that brings a lot of, I don't know whether it's understanding or and those are the dynamics that I think a friendship brings. Yeah. So what do I do? Now this is my friend and you're having beef with this person. Which side do I go? Which side do I lean? Those are the things that now mess up because I'm like, which is my pal. I don't know what you guys are going through. Both of you are my friends, but now I can't choose sides.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
You guys sort it out. But then they want your input on it, meaning you either have to take a side or just go like, okay, deuces, guys. I can't do this. I'm out.
Yeah. This is like, sorry to digress, but this is like how spouses inherit each other's beefs. I start beefing with so-and-so because my wife does not like her. And I've seen it. a lot with some of my friends.
Yeah.
Because there's one who told me, no, I don't talk to Nani anymore. I'm like, why?
Why?
Because my wife doesn't like her.
Simple.
I'm like, that is so immature. I actually find that very annoying.
But it's loyalty, man.
I know.
Loyalty. You're just like, nani amekukosea? Hata mimi amenikosea. I wish make
like another thing that happened to me on that same thing. There's a friend of my wife who had beef with my wife. They co-signed.
Yeah.
They unfollowed each other on social media.
Yes,
then Juicy, this happened like last year. Juicy, I check my Instagram. I see that friend of my wife because who's no longer a friend. so I see her profile, and I'm like, oh, why is it that I'm not like I see her following me? So I'm like, so this chick also unfollowed me.
As in umechujwa pia.
So you had problems with my wife, but now I blocked her.
Cheers.
Pettiness.
So now let me ask. So you see things like those. You're just like, okay, kama utaka best yangu, pia mimi sitaki best yako.
Nani tembea.
Mimi nimeishia.
Tembea.
Yeah, block me, I'm out.
Yeah, but it's okay. Now going back to what you're saying, that other thing about time, because also when we moved to Ayani, I made friends there in class 2. Because we moved there when I was in class 2. So I made friends. I made friends with Najo, with Mose, and with Joe. A friend of ours called Joe. He lives in Canada now. And we've been friends from class 2. Yeah, but Yashinsky said, since standard 2, napigana
boy.
But see, tuko tunapigana mangumi, hadi tunaganda mguu. So we were just nice guys, and we've been friends, imagine, since class 2. And I remember introducing, sometimes when I'm with Najo and Mose, and I'm introducing them to, say, my other friends. I'm like, oh, by the way, this is my friend Mose, this is my friend Najo. We've been buddies since we were in class 2. Some guys are shocked.
Right.
Class 2?
How?
All this time?
How?
How have you guys been friends for so long? And then I did an audit and realized majority of the guys I am close with, I have actually been friends with them 7, 8, 9, 10 years plus. Like, I have made friends in the recent past.
Yes.
But I have managed to maintain a lot of friendships from my childhood all the way up to this point in time.
That's actually a skill.
And we're still involved in each other's lives. Imagine, we wouldn't go more than like a month without at least physically seeing each other.
This guy should start a TED Talk.
Imagine.
Because friendship, there are people who cannot keep friends for that long.
It's weird.
I can tell you for sure. It's not easy. It's not easy keeping that kind of friendship for a long time.
Yeah.
We have a common friend, Arnold.
Yes.
Arnold, we also knew each other. Chivution. We also, I met Arnold in church as well. And that's one of the guys who I just feel is one real and, will just tell it to your face. And those are the kind of friendships that I feel, for me, build and I want to keep, because I know that you can call me out on my BS, whether I'm older than you or not.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where the dynamic of friendship is. Because I'm like, Nini is older than me. How am I going to tell him he's becoming a D?
Yeah.
Like, how do I stop him from being nonsensical?
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, watch I kai. So then things come and blow up, and you're just like, okay, so how are we friends? If you can't tell
with
me
time,
that I'm messing up, whatever it is that I'm messing up. The other dynamic I was going to put across was in also trying to make sure that friendship actually works in terms of, I know I'm busy and I know there are things that are happening in my life.
Yeah.
Like how do I now make sure that I never stop, like the way you're saying, every month you have to make sure that you
have to make sure you have to meet, you have to hang
out,
spend time together.
Is it that you guys choose a date and say every second week of the month you're going to be meeting? Or
right.
Because again, you're busy, I'm busy, and I'm like, okay, schedules here, it's in a clash. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah. So the thing is, we don't have like a fixed or a set standard of meeting.
Yeah.
But we know we are involved in each other's lives such that I know Mose works Monday to Sunday. He's off on Sundays and Thursdays. So we know each other's basically each other's lifestyles, each other's habits.
Right.
So I know Najo's habits, I know Marvo's habits and timelines, I know a lot of my friends, I know their habits and timelines, like Alan, Lucase. So it's easy to schedule around such things, but it's really more spontaneous. The only recurring activity I know we usually have is bowling.
Right.
We go for bowling almost every month or every 2 months.
Okay.
And it's always the same faces that show up. So we have made it our thing.
Yeah.
That, you know, when we're doing bowling together, we know that, like, it's an open invitation by the way. We just post online or social media. We're like, hey, bowling this Saturday or this Friday at Westgate this time. Please come through if you want to come. A friend of a friend is always a friend. That is our tagline.
Okay.
A friend of a friend is always a friend. So you're invited to come, like the whole squad, everyone can come. But we know that there's the core group that still has to always show up. So if one of us don't show up, we are like, hey, call so and so, and I find out how come he's not coming. Did he communicate to anyone? Did they tell you, or did she tell you she's not coming? You know, such things. But we have really involved each other in our lives in the sense that if we're hanging out, they're the first people we think about.
Yeah.
If we're having like an event, they're the first guys we talk to. We're like, but there's this gig on this date. Are you coming? Do you want to go? Can we go for this? Can we hang out here? Oh, we've never been to your place. We heard you moved. We heard you saw, like, I saw on Instagram you have a girlfriend.
Is that?
What's happening? Are you introducing us? You know, so it's just very informal.
So it's intentional.
Yes, but it's intentional.
Yeah.
So we don't really set it like, when you get a girl, you have to tell us. When you move, you have to tell us. No, we are tracking each other's progresses day by day, and we are just staying in tune with each other's lives so that we can be able to at least follow up on each other, check up on each other, and at least just not make it formal. Because when you now start, maybe there's some guys who actually, and it works.
And
there's some
I
guys,
was just about to say that because my
Yeah.
folks have friends who they call the couples fellowship, and they've been friends forever.
Yes.
You know, and I like that dynamic of friendship because they've actually made it formal. Like, you know, we meet on this day, we'll meet on this day, and they'll even plan for whatever the meetings that they're going to have. The one thing that I've seen with their friendship and this far that they've come is they've been in each other's lives. The way you're saying that, you know, I know what so and so is doing, I know what Nani's child is doing, I know which class they're going to, and if they have a child who's going to university or whatever and they need to changa money, they all come together and they changa and they give the parent that money. The weddings that have happened in that
Friendship,
the couples fellowship, the children, when they get married, they all come together and they're like, you know, we have to make sure that our son's or our daughter's wedding works and happens the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
They'll pull through their numbers and whatever. And I've seen that dynamic of friendship that works very well.
Yes.
Now, the children,
when did the rain start beating you?
the children, on the other hand,
and ask.
you're like, actually, you know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. This one fell and went.
And rolled down the hill. The tree was on
We've
top of
tried to
it.
bring each other, you know, coming together as Natty.
You can't
You know,
force it.
like, you can't force it.
You can't force it.
The one thing that was very funny at some time back is the couples fellowship parents were trying to hook us up, like the children.
As children to get married to
But
each
we're
other.
like, we are sisters, we are brothers and sisters. We're
Son,
not friends. Hey, nothing.
You guys were just not that attracted to each other. How could we are sisters? We've grown up together. You just needed the right level of attraction. In-house. No outsourcing.
Hapa ingekuwa outsourcing, iko tu hapa na
The
hapa na
negotiation,
hapa.
you just cross the road.
Unasikia nani? Kwanza inafanywa kwa simu. Hello? Unataka ng'ombe ngapi? I see, I will make. Ama wacha nikupatie over the next 30 years.
Even tell each other, but you know our situation.
Yeah,
Why
you
are
know
you
how
asking
it
us
is.
for
Why?
15 cows?
Yeah, it doesn't make
We have
sense.
literally been together. This one.
Na unataka ng'ombe 15?
Wewe baba Mike, ushainiona hata na ng'ombe tano. Tumekuwa na wewe miaka ngapi? Sasa unataka
Na hata tukienda hata kwa bibi kwa harusi ya mtoto wako, hatukutoa ng'ombe.
Surely.
You know.
Where is this coming from?
But I like that dynamic that they've made sure that they understand, and even with this stressful situation of adulting,
Yes.
they've
made
decided
it work,
they've
kabisa.
made it work, kabisa.
That's
And
really
they've been there
commendable.
for each other till now. That question, the question I'm about to ask is very
Subjective.
weird because it's subjective, exactly. Because if I was to ask you, are you a good friend?
Yes. And if you don't think so,
you're not
a good friend.
Because I feel like now our friends should tell us whether we are good friends or not.
Yeah.
Are you a good friend? Do you think maybe that's the right question. Do you think you're a good friend?
I hope I am. To all the guys, we are actually still friends and we still spend time together.
Yeah.
I really, really hope I am. Because there are times I have felt I haven't been a great friend or a good friend. There are times when something has happened to someone and I hear it from a third party and I'm like, hey, but we were friends, you know? So those are some of the reality checks I get that make me remember this thing is, it's a progressive thing, and you also have to do your best to be a good friend. But I always tell myself, make yourself proud. So even in your friendships, at the end of the day, if someone was to ask, is this guy a good friend by the way? Are you going to make yourself proud with what people say about you as a friend? Because if you can't directly, from the top of your head, think about, say, 5, 6 guys or 10 guys, 10 is a lot, but 6 guys, 5 or 6 guys who, if they're called right now and they're asked, hey, do you think this guy is a good guy? Is he a good friend? They'd actually have something tangible based on how you've genuinely impacted their lives. And not just saying it like a referee kwa CV. You know, the way referees will always say, yeah, of course, this guy's a good guy.
He's a good footballer.
Brilliant, professional, blah, 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 you know? Yeah, so but I hope I am. What would you say?
I've been told you're a good man. I don't know if that's...
By who? It depends.
Do you remember Dan Omondi?
Who tells you? Yes.
Pastor Dan Omondi, I said...
Trust me, he tells everyone that. He tells everyone that. Don't worry. That should not make you feel special.
I said I'm a good man, so I don't know. Anyway, again, the one thing that I'm always afraid of is I think I fall short a lot of the times to my friends. You know, like, either being there for them or showing up. Nowadays I hear it's called pitching because of the new show. You know, like, did you pitch up? Every time I ask myself, what kind of friend am I? Am I the friend that changes people's lives? Am I the friend who always shows up? Am I the friend? Because I think even in friendship, I want to have something that people can count on, you know. I know in businesses, people normally say your friends are not the ones you should count on. You should just count on strangers. You know, because friends will never show up the way they're supposed to show up.
Serious? There are people who believe that.
There are people who believe that friends will never show up for you, but strangers will. Which is, maybe that's where the question then should come.
Yeah, it reminds me that Pentecostal thing for, strangers will serve you. Hallelujah.
Yes. Because, I mean, when you think about it, you're just like, wait. If friends can't show up, then are these my friends?
Yeah.
You know. But then again, if they're not the people then you can count on, then you clearly don't have friends.
Yeah.
Like if you were to start a business, would you say that these friends of yours, like Alan, would support your business the way you want it to be supported?
That business has to make sense also. Because let me tell you, there's this issue about people who say, oh, your friends should support your business.
Yeah.
But bro, your business
doesn't make sense.
Maybe what you're doing could have been done in a different way or could have been done better.
But can these friends tell you?
Yeah, the input, that's what I was going to get into.
Yeah.
The input has also to come from them. They have to have the initiative to say, okay, I want to support your business, and support in this first point wouldn't necessarily be buying your product or putting money, but I want to change how you go about your business in this sense. So I give you some advice, I give you a structure about something and tell you, this can work better like this because I know I have done this before or I have seen this work. So practical and tangible advice that will change the course of your business. But I don't like the guilt-tripping aspect of your friends should support your hustles, because it might not be something that is possible to them at that point in time. Maybe they don't have the money. You're looking at support as money.
But
buy my product.
Maybe it should be also then, as you're saying, tangible, like, referring people to you.
Yes, they can. They can send clients away. They can purchase. So it's multifaceted.
Yeah, it is multifaceted.
Yeah.
But then again, there's also that part. Do they send people to you, you know. There are people who don't do that. People are just like, let's see how it goes, you know. Let's wait and see how it goes. Then they come and they're like, hey, mazee, your business haiko inaweza. Just like, hey, na niliona kutoka mbali.
I could tell this thing wasn't
Nilikuwa
going to
nache
go
kutoka
far.
mbali. But, you know, why not
What did you
just
do
say something?
about
What did you
it?
do about it?
Yeah.
You know. Then there's also the fact that, you know, one question that I ask, have you fought with your friends?
Hey, drop pin. Drop pin, we fight.
Front load, 5 p.m.
So it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Fights within friendships happen.
I think the thing I was trying to bring across is that fact that, you know, fights do happen in friendships. It's how we come back from it.
Yes.
I had an, it wasn't a fight, it was just a disagreement with Chama. And I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not a friend, this is not a good friend, you know. Only to realize that after about 2 months, he came to me and was like, Johnny, we've come from far. What I did on my part, I'm sorry. You know, like I'll try and fix it. I messed up, nini. And I sat down and I was like, this is actually true friendship.
Yeah, and that's maturity.
Yeah, when someone can come and just own up. I'm like, I'm sorry, I messed up on this part and this is what's up. And for me, I took that as an opening and an invite to, wait, I need to also call myself on BS sometimes when I mess up. Stop also holding myself on a high pedestal, thinking that I can't mess up in a friendship, that we shouldn't fight in a friendship, that we can't disagree in a friendship, you know. And I think a lot of people think that because we are friends, we should never go wrong. We should never, we should always be on the same path moving forward.
Yeah.
Like we can never kosana, you know, which doesn't make sense.
You know, yeah, even with partners, like even me, I know, like friends, business partners, associates, lovers, there's always that breeding conflict.
Yeah.
It's just human nature. One way or another, there are times you won't have like seeing the same perspective, you won't have things figured out, you'll fight, you'll argue, but there's, you know, the rule of fighting fair. It's important to fight fair because like to quote the great Jay-Z, nobody wins when the family feuds. So you need to know, as you guys are friends, and as Vin Diesel will say, I ain't got friends, I got family, know? You have to always know what is the end game. Like now, if I start beefing with guys who I've been friends with since class 2, am I willing to lose such a friendship simply because I don't agree with something they've said or done, or they don't agree with something? So are we communicating that, and are we actually working at ensuring that this friendship works and overcomes this conflict that we have at this point in time? If you need to understand each other better, see how best mnaweza kaa, you talk and agree, this is the issue that's on the table. This is how I feel, this is what has ticked me off with what you've said or done. Then the other party should also be mature enough to say it. But if you want to take conflict and just give up on the friendship, because like what he said is very important. I mean, we've come from a very long time, man. We've come from
Sunday school is
way
far.
back, Sunday school. Such friendships are rare. There are many people who don't actually have friends they can say they've been in their lives for more than 5 to 10 years. So you have the advantage of like 15 years going on to a lot more years.
Yeah.
And then you just kosana. But there's I think something we should discuss about how friendships we end up losing friendships. It's money.
My guy.
Money.
Unapanda cheo, unaona wengine wako chini. You're like, money.
And even there's that career growth and people started making money, but there's also jamaa anafanya do yangu.
Kuna hiyo pia. Nenda kuna do.
Namcheki Mombasa.
Ama ameenda kwa concert. Ameenda kwa concert ya concerts. Then I see you on Instagram. Hey, perambulate. Kuna pesa ya mai. Na ndio hiyo anajinaishi.
Bro, I need my money, man.
And but funny enough, it's very hard to ask money from your friend than it is hard asking money from your boss or your client.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, why is it so hard?
Because you're entitled to it. If it's your boss, you're entitled to it. But with friends,
but you're entitled to it. It's your money.
How do you start Because it's an informal setting, so it's so difficult for you to start. You know, bosses have structures.
Right.
Employees have structures. You can follow a process and claim your money.
Yeah.
With friends, you can't follow a process. It's always
You can.
goodwill.
Goodwill on the 15th.
You see,
on the
goodwill,
13th.
that goodwill has to come back from them also. Because if you tell him, oh, you told me to give you my money on the 13th, he's like, sawa, boss, siwezi kataa na do yako. Utafanya? What do you do?
Naambia imepitisha 13th.
You can't go to HR. There's no process. There's no process. Like the friendship bureau, you know.
Unaenda kwa Richie mazena ni yako na down. Muongeleshe. Muongelesha ni gedo.
Now that's the challenge.
I don't know why there seems to be this thing where if I make money, if I'm making this kind of money, it's like I have to make friends who are making that kind of money.
You can't get on my level. You have to get on that level.
No wonder Sarah level up, boss. So like now I'm like I'm making 50K a day, and I'm like Richie's still making 20. Atwezi enda kubo. Acha niende nikatafute Andrew ana make 60 at least hapo hivyo. It's like I want to mentor, you know, like I want a mentor who can pull me up. But I'm like, why change this? You know, just because I have a few extra zeros on my check. You know, like, does it mean then I'm smaller than you? Then it wasn't a friendship to begin with. You know, if money then comes and changes people, if living at a certain place changes people, if getting or driving a certain car changes people. There was a time I used to have stress. Like I never, my friends were driving cars. Yeah. I was like, why am I not driving a car? And like, I want to drive a car too, you know. And I wasn't understanding what the dynamics of driving a car or whatever, or how they got it, or where they got the money to buy the car. I was just like, if my friends are here, I also need to be here. You know, but there's that thing as well, competing with your friends without knowing that you're competing with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it doesn't have to be. You know, like if you're going to level up together, but you know, let it not feel like, hey, maze, Richard may get iPhone 13. Hata mimi lazima ni get iPhone 13. You know, chini ya maji. Yeah. But then it also messes up because if I don't get the iPhone 13, I feel like Richie is now not on my level anymore. Yes. You know, like I'm like, but then again, it's something that you've imposed on yourself. You start realizing now they start pulling back because they're trying to attain a level that they can't attain.
At that point in time,
now your
friendship
affects your friendship completely.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a dynamic that, okay, because we are still going to talk about this. We have a lot more to talk about in unpacking this whole aspect of friendship.
Best friends.
So and friends with your exes.
Friends with your exes. Kuna BFF. Kuna friends with benefits. Na benefits inaweza kuwa tu ni junsi ako na do ndio uka hapo. But anyway, these are topics that are still coming. So this is friends part 1. Just trying to understand what friendship is. You know, like who are friends, what are friends, are you a good friend, you know? The other thing, do you have to have like 30 friends so that you know that you're a good friend, or you know, like so that you can say I'm in a friendship? Or does it...
How much? Like how many friends are enough friends, you know?
How far is too far?
How far is too far? The age-old Christian question.
How far is too far?
Sexual immorality.
I don't know. Like, for me, I feel like I saw a preaching some time back, and the guy was saying, have 6 people, because those are the ones who are pallbearers during my funeral.
Yeah, I've heard that story as well.
Have those 6 people that you can count on.
If you drop down dead at this point in time,
they're the ones who are going to carry you.
They'll show up for you. They'll show up for your family, for your...
Exactly. So I don't know, maybe... I don't know about you.
Well, that's an analogy. Yeah, that's an analogy that works. But with friendships, more doesn't necessarily mean better friendships. You can have... Like, I've realized the older I've become, my friendship circle has become smaller, but it's closely knit. Like you see now, I hang out more or less with the same people. Yeah. I realize I have a pattern now. I have a pattern of how I do things, who I work, who I handle, who I can handle, who I can't handle, who I hang out with, such things. So I've just created a certain space around the friends that I keep and the friends I have. Yes, and I'm happy with them. And I'm still looking at getting more friends if the opportunity is there. Yeah. But I have that core group that is always that solid group that I still always consistently have. So by then, I don't think I can say a certain number is important, but at least more than one.
Ukiwa hauna uko na
Bro,
shida.
if you don't have any, that's where the challenge is. If you don't have a friend who you can say you can rely on, you can call on, they can rely on you as well. Yeah. That is sad.
Gotta get checked.
Yeah.
I think it's, for me, I believe that, of course, having more than one friend is important.
Yeah.
Secondly, even just having friends in different levels, whether they're older or younger.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's also important because to understand the different dynamics. For me, I believe friends above 5 is good. Ukiwa hapo plus 10 sasa unaanza kujiletea shida because who do you
It's okay. Still okay, man.
I think it's a problem. It's a problem. I said, there you go. It's like more money, more problems.
Which problems? Give me more money. I agree with Shaki. People keep saying,
ongelesha ghost akwambie. Ongelesha ghost akwambie. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I think this is part 1 of friendship, and we're still going to go on. Part 2 of friendship, we'll decide what it's going to be, the kind of friends to have or the kind of friends we already have.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Let us know what you think. Maybe what we're saying is just nonsense. Just comment, tell us, enyewe, friendship is hard. Nowadays booking friends, it's become like a plane. Book by Friday. By the way, I'm booked mpaka December. Forget it. Yeah. Kama wezi book Sato, me I'm out, or if you can't come to my digs, we're not friends anymore. Yeah. If I can't come to your digs, we're not friends anymore. If you're not my wife's friend, then cheers, I'm out. So tell us, let us know what you think on the comment section. Subscribe, share,
comment, give us your thoughts.
Give us your thoughts, and
let's keep growing from Monja.
Authentic Cats, thank you very much for coming through with the space. And bado watu wanafaa come. What's on the kind of come cool? No.
You'll come through to Authentic.
Libby, thank you very much for coming through. Yeah, Libby ali cut hair nini aka feel very nice. It was a new stage.
It looks really cool.
It's very cool.
Made her cut her hair, but the way they say, what do they say about a woman who cuts their hair? It's about to change their life.
Yeah, life is about to change.
I hope so.
But our life changed. You need to cut it. Cut it. Like now. We need to cut it. Thank you very much. Cut.